Good evening, Clarence Williams. This is another edition of Now and Then. I want to talk to you about is the economy stupid? Is the economy stupid? James Carville in 1992, when uh, then candidate Bill Clinton was running against George Bush, and Bill Clinton won, and he won the presidency because he was dealing with the economy. And George Carville made this phrase: "Is the economy stupid?" So most people, most politicians know the importance of the economy. When the 2024 campaign was going, the Republicans ran on the economy. They had two primary issues, platforms that they were running on. They were running on immigration, and they were running on the economy. And basically, immigration is centered around the economy. So it all tied into the economy. But now, President Trump inherited a vital, vigorous economy from uh, from Biden. Uh, the economy was strong. You had growth. You had economic growth. The stock market was booming. You had companies that were investing and hiring. Employment was low. Things was going well, but even though things was going well, they still had high grocery prices, and that single thing, uh, with the phraseology, if you will, which is Donald Trump's main strength. He know how to market, and he marketed that one single thing to get people to believe that the economy was weak, that their 401ks was weak, even though they could go and look and see that the market was strong. They were still listening to the marketing, the markability, the phraseology, the talk of one Donald Trump, and all of the Republicans getting behind him and still talking and still saying the same thing. The Democrats believing, listen, Americans can see the difference. They can see that the economy is strong, and the Republicans still saying it's weak. And most people started believing it's weak. They stopped. They did not stop spending. That's one way you can really tell the strength of an economy. When people are spending, when they are traveling, when they are moving, when they are buying, and they are doing this and that with their money, that tells you that they believe in the economy. But even though they were doing all of this, they were still listening to people telling them that things was wrong, things was dire. And the one thing that they pointed to was the price of grocery. Everything else is moving well, moving great, but the price of grocery. Now, Donald Trump inherited all of this good news about the economy. And even in inheriting that, he was still telling you on day number one, he's going to bring down the prices, which was his main thing. He's going to bring down the prices. But now that he's president, he's not concerned about bringing down the prices. He's concerned about fighting the trading walls. Now, Bill Clinton, during his presidency, during the time that James Carville did this phrase, coined this phrase, he won the presidency. And Bill Clinton was successful in his term of making agreements with making about 300 different trade agreements all over the world, making the economy strong. People are now moving and shaking, and they are dealing. This is a globalized project, a globalized concern. You cannot put this back in the bottle. We deal now with nations, with countries all over the world, and you cannot reverse that. But Donald Trump wants to reverse that. Ronald Reagan even issued in the free trade agreement with Mexico and Canada. Donald Trump comes up and he says, that's not right. I want to redo this thing. And he reduced this free trade agreement with Mexico and Canada. And now he issued in his first presidency a trade agreement that he thought that was great for America. But now that he's president again, he wants to tear that up. He wants to renegotiate that because he feels like it's still ripping off America. And those are catchphrases. People they believe catchphrases instead of things that they can see with their eyes. Now the economy is tanking. It is tanking because of the actions of Donald Trump. One man. Now, can one man do it? Yes. Does one man has the power to do it? Yes. Does one man has the constitutional right to do it? No. Congress has that right. But since Congress, I talked about autocracy, since Congress failed to exercise their constitutional duties and instead segregate it to one man, Congress is stepping back now and wondering with the rest of us, what in the world is going on? How can this be? You are losing trillions of dollars. Uh, the economy is just going down. Everybody is now talking about a recession. Remember when Biden was in office? It was all about the recession, but the only one that was saying that was Republicans. Now you don't hear too many Republicans talking about a recession, and it is 10 times worse now than when Biden was in office. When Kamala Harris was running for the presidency, it was all about if Kamala Harris got to be president, it was going to tank the economy. The stock market was going to fall out. The bottom was going to fall out of the stock market. No country is going to trade with the United States because they was going to be unsure about the stability of the United States. Look at what's happening now. They are totally unsure about the stability of the United States. Give me give you 3 points and then I'm through. Number one, they are saying because of the trade wars that are happening right now, that the gas prices are low, which is right. But they also confirm that the gas prices are low because economists and business people predict now that the economy is going to slow down and is not going to be so much movement or so much need for more gas. And so they're lowering the price of the gas. Now, that's a good thing in one sense, but if the economy is booming, you would need more gas. That's just a sign of a weak economy. Number two, they want the feds. Donald Trump wants the feds to lower the interest rate. Everybody want lower interest rates. The Fed lowers interest rates or high jacks up interest rate to deal with inflation and recession. That's one way of managing the economy, the mood of the people. If you make the money more expensive, it's going to slow it down. If you make money more easy to get, lower cost, then people are going to start borrowing and things going to get going. And that's what Donald Trump wants. He wants the Fed now to lower interest rates to make money more affordable for people so they can start generating. Why would people want to spend their money now when they are so unsure whether they will even have a job? So the third one is productivity. The businesses are going to eventually start producing. They're going to go start investing. They're going to start hiring people. Well, right now, they are laying people off. So the third one, higher investments, is being offset by lower gas and lower, well, stagnation of taxes because Fed said they're not going to lower it down. So one is offsetting the others because people confidence in the market is not good. So you see the businesses are not going to invest. What the businesses are going to do, because they are unsure, they're going to continue to lay people off. They're going to slow down growth. They're going to slow down their productivity, which is going to further deplete the market. And then now, because they are slowing down, people are going to be unemployed. This is leading to a recession. And on the other side of the coin, you have the countries that are being affected by one man's tariffs. And they are saying, well, if you put a tariff on us, we're going to put a tariff on you. Now, there are some countries that are not able to put a tariff, well, they are able to put a tariff, but it's not wise of them to put a tariff because they are not large enough, they are not strong enough to go tit for tat with the United States. But China is, and that's the difference. China said, listen, you put a tariff on us, we're going to put a tariff on you. The other countries, or some of the other countries, they are trying to bypass the United States, go around and create more trading avenues with other partners instead of the United States. The dollar eventually is going to start getting weaker because people are going to be pulling away from the United States. Now, the last thing, if President Trump's tariffs work and everything falls back to normal, it will never be normal because what he wants is for companies to bring their factories back into the United States. He wants manufacturers to start producing more commodities that we buy or that we use in the United States. What that's going to do is jack up the prices because United States companies cannot match the cost of out of state companies. What am I saying? I'm saying that if Trump gets his way, your prices are not going to go down, they're going to go higher. Now you're sitting and waiting on him to work his deal, work his magic. Once he works his magic, the only people that's going to be benefiting from his magic are people that have companies. The average consumer is going to be paying more for those prices of commodities because companies in the United States cannot compete with companies outside of the United States. And that's why Ronald Reagan started the free trade. That's why Bill Clinton got us out of depression or recession, 1992, when he started trading more, globalization. Now that you have Donald Trump coming and saying, I want it made in America. I want to make America great again. I still have a knowledge or have a concern. When was it ever great in that sense, the way you're talking about? But that's a different story. But he want to come and now put everything back in the United States, manufacture it in the United States, make it in the United States, assemble it in the United States, and that's going to jack up prices. And once that jack up prices, those that are at the high level is going to get filthy rich, and it's going to cost all of us more in order to buy those products. This is Clarence Williams. This is now, and this is then.